What has Russia done now?
The next annual BRICS summit is slated to take place in Russia, with a number of events planned to promote the bloc's next meeting. The Russian President Vladimir Putin extended a special invitation to this year's participants for an upcoming tournament.
Tens of millions are tuning in to watch the tournament. Russia is hosting its own international sporting tournament right now.
5 more countries have joined. About 30 states are to join the BRICS family.
Now, in other news, Russia has taken over the presidency of the BRICS group.
Have you ever seen a family reunion with 97 families? Can you imagine the symphony of languages, the diversity of meals at the buffet? Now, what if I told you something even bigger is happening in Russia? Yes, that's right. The BRICS 2024 Games are said to be one of the most expansive international gatherings ever, with 97 countries confirming their attendance. This isn't just any sports event. It's a showcase of global unity and potential. Imagine the energy, the myriad of languages filling the air, the cultural exchanges happening right on the streets of Russia. This isn't just a meeting. It's a melting pot of global proportions, a spectacular show of unity and competition wrapped into one. Every nation brings a piece of its heart, its people, and its aspirations to this grand stage, setting the scene for what's bound to be an unforgettable gathering. Why does this matter to us? Because in a world where headlines often divide, here's a story about coming together. With 97 countries participating, the BRICS 2024 Games are a testament to the power of sports and diplomacy to bridge divides. It's a rare moment where we see a world not just sharing a venue, but also sharing visions of a future that embraces multipolarity and mutual respect. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into what makes this event a potential game changer for global relations. Think of the BRICS 2024 Games as a global festival, not just for sports, but for showcasing the strength of international ties and economic muscles. This isn't just about athletes sprinting on the tracks. It's a full-blown exhibition of how countries can play nice and work together. Hosted by the vast landscapes of Russia, this event is set to boost the profile of the BRICS nations. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Each of these countries is like a key player in a band, each bringing their own unique sound to create a hit tune that resonates across the globe. Now imagine the world as a giant market, where countries are both shoppers and sellers, hustling and bustling, striking deals left and right. The BRICS 2024 Games provide a platform much like a mega exhibition. Here, these 5 major players can strut their stuff, showing off what makes them standout markets and formidable allies. The Games are not just a test of physical might, but a demonstration of economic vigor and partnership potential. As the spotlight shines on these games, the whole world watches. It's a chance for the BRICS bloc to put on a united front, to show that they're not just players, they're major contenders in the global arena. They're showing off how they can lead in technology, innovation, and policy making, all while fostering an environment where cooperation trumps competition. When Russia steps up as the host for the BRICS 2024 Games, it's not just about putting on a grand sports spectacle. It's a strategic play by President Vladimir Putin to position Russia as a pivotal leader on the global stage. Imagine the host of a huge party. Russia is setting up the stage, tuning the lights, and making sure every detail is perfect. Why? Because they want to show the world that they're not just participants, they're leading the parade.
Russia will continue to fully promote the further development of contacts in the field of sports and youth exchanges. In particular, the BRICS Games.
President Putin has made it clear, these games must meet the highest standards. It's like rolling out the red carpet in the world of international politics and economics. Russia's goal? To reinforce its role as a cornerstone member of the BRICS bloc and to showcase its capability to foster global cooperation and multipolarity. Think of it as Russia's open house, where they demonstrate their hospitality but also their influence and reach. By hosting these games, Russia is sending out a powerful message. They are a force to be reckoned with, not just in terms of military and economic power, but as a leader that promotes collaboration over confrontation. The stage is set for Russia to shine, to display its commitment to building a world where power is shared more equally, where multiple voices can shape the future. This isn't just about sports. It's about Russia stepping into the limelight to guide a narrative of unity and strength across continents. Imagine walking into one of the biggest international reunions ever. That's what's happening with the BRICS 2024 Games, where 97 countries have RSVP'd yes to join the party. This isn't just a crowd, it's a statement. With every country that joins, BRICS stretches its arms wider, embracing a vast array of cultures, economies, and political landscapes. This diversity is not just impressive, it's pivotal. Think of BRICS as the rising star in a talent show, where the audience keeps growing. Each of the 97 participants represents a vote of confidence in what BRICS stands for: cooperation, development, and a fresh approach to global challenges. This isn't just a gathering, it's a vibrant mosaic of the world's nations, each adding its unique piece to the BRICS puzzle. The fact that so many countries outside the original five, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are eager to take part highlights the magnetic appeal of BRICS as a leading coalition in today's world.
BRICS ministerial meeting, and he said that the chosen Russian-Chinese course had brought an increasingly positive feedback from the majority of the world countries.
This massive turnout makes the Games a melting pot of ideas and opportunities. It's where strategies are shared and alliances are formed. The Games act as a springboard for countries seeking to make their mark and have a say in the global arena. As these 97 flags fly together in Russia, they symbolize more than just participation. They signify a shift towards a more inclusive and balanced world order. So, as we look at these games, let's appreciate the sheer scale and the deep significance of this unprecedented gathering. It's not just a sports event, it's a landmark moment in international relations, showing us that the world might be vast, but through platforms like BRICS, it's intricately connected.
Russian President Vladimir Putin, in his address on Monday, said that BRICS is attracting a growing number of supporters and like-minded countries.
Think of the sports field as a giant round table, but instead of suits and formal handshakes, it's team jerseys and high fives. International sports events like the BRICS Games are not just about who's the fastest or strongest. They're powerful venues for diplomacy. This is where the game of politics subtly slides into the game of sports. Imagine this. While athletes leap and sprint, diplomats and leaders mingle, chat, and lay down the groundwork for future cooperation. These games create a unique space, a sort of diplomatic playground. Here, nations can step away from the stiff boardrooms and engage in friendly, open dialogues. Picture it as a casual coffee shop meeting where the world's leaders can discuss big ideas in a relaxed atmosphere. The usual barriers and tensions that might cloud typical diplomatic meetings dissolve away in the excitement and camaraderie of the games. Moreover, the BRICS Games become a cultural mosaic, offering a peek into the traditions, values, and aspirations of diverse nations. It's a chance for countries to not only showcase their athletic prowess, but also their cultural richness and diplomatic intentions. This setting fosters a kind of diplomacy that's less about drawing lines on a map and more about drawing connections between people. As the athletes compete, the real magic happens in the stands and behind the scenes, where relationships are nurtured and mutual understanding is cultivated. So, while the scoreboard tracks points, the real win is the bonds formed and the dialogues opened, which could pave the way for a more cooperative future. Imagine the BRICS 2024 Games as a massive networking event, where every handshake and conversation could spin into a multi-million-dollar deal or a groundbreaking alliance. Historically, gatherings like these aren't just about medals and national pride, they're catalysts for major diplomatic and economic shifts. With 97 nations coming together, the air is thick not just with competition, but with potential. These games open up a treasure chest of opportunities. For businesses, it's like being at a global trade fair, where deals are struck not in quiet boardrooms but in the bustling arenas and social gatherings. Each event, match, and ceremony is a chance to mingle, pitch ideas, and secure investments. Picture this. A startup from South Africa gets its big break by partnering with a tech giant from China, or an Indian green energy firm catches the eye of Brazilian investors. The possibilities are as vast as the attendance.
The appeal of sport really is something that we shouldn't underestimate. It's one of the reasons why politicians throughout the ages, not just at the moment, will utilize sport.
Politically, the games are just as impactful. They provide a stage for leaders to discuss, negotiate, and maybe even resolve long-standing disputes. It's like a dance where every step, twirl, and handhold can bring countries closer together or redefine their rhythms. The presence of so many diverse nations creates a ripe environment for both reinforcing old friendships and sparking new ones. This isn't just diplomacy in action, it's diplomacy in motion, facilitated by the universal language of sports. Imagine a world where not just one or two countries call the shots, but many voices contribute to the global conversation. That's what's potentially unfolding as 97 countries show keen interest in the BRICS 2024 Games. This isn't just about a change in the participant list. It's about a seismic shift towards a multipolar world where power is more evenly distributed. This massive turnout signals that numerous nations are ready to explore options beyond the traditional Western-centric alliances. Think of it as a schoolyard where new teams are forming. These countries are not just spectators anymore. They're active players looking for teams that advocate for fair play, economic sovereignty, and a chance to lead, not just follow. BRICS, with its commitment to multipolarity, is like the new team captain that promises a game where every player gets a fair chance to score. This shift could redefine global power dynamics profoundly. As countries flock to BRICS, attracted by its principles of mutual respect and shared prosperity, we're seeing the contours of a new world map being drawn. It's like watching a group of friends banding together to form their own club with its own rules, distinct from the playground's traditional cliques. Imagine BRICS as a growing club that's becoming so popular it might just start setting new trends. If a substantial number of the 97 participating nations decide to join this bloc, we could be looking at a major shift in the global power balance. It's like watching a group of underdogs banding together to become a powerhouse team capable of going toe-to-toe with the traditional champions. This expanded membership would not just increase BRICS' influence, it could redefine the very essence of global governance. Picture a world where the usual heavyweights have to share the spotlight with new leaders on the bloc, all bringing fresh perspectives and reshaping international policies. BRICS, with its diverse and expanded roster, could challenge the long-standing dominance of Western economic and political paradigms, promoting a more equitable world stage. Think of it as a game of musical chairs, where suddenly there are more players and the music's rhythm has changed. The old ways of navigating global issues might no longer fit, with BRICS potentially at the helm, fostering cooperation and championing a multipolar approach. The rules of the game could change. This means more voices at the table, more hands shaping the future, and a more dynamic interplay of cultural, economic, and political forces.
The role of BRICS in world affairs is growing rapidly, and therefore I am confident that the popularity and attractiveness of the games will also grow as competitions which are free from political interference and pressure, and which are truly uniting athletes from all over the world.
Now, as we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture. The world is watching, not just to see who takes home the gold, but to witness a potential pivot in the landscape of global politics and alliances. Think of these games as more than just an international sports event. They're like a grand stage where the next act of world history might begin. Every race, every match is more than a contest. It's a metaphor for the larger games being played on the world stage, games of diplomacy, power, and influence. As the athletes prepare to compete, the stakes are incredibly high, not just for individual glory, but for the future of international relations. The outcomes of these games could set new precedents. Will new alliances form? Will old ones be strengthened or challenged? It's like watching the pieces of a giant puzzle being moved around, with each move capable of changing the picture of global governance. This summit isn't just about sports. It's a turning point that might dictate how nations interact, collaborate, and compete. The decisions made, the relationships formed, and the statements voiced at this event could reverberate through the corridors of power worldwide, influencing how global blocs like BRICS are perceived and engaged with in the future. So, as we look forward to the BRICS 2024 Games, let's stay tuned. Every sprint, every leap, and every throw has the potential to echo beyond the arenas, shaping the contours of international politics in profound ways. This isn't just a game, it's a glimpse into the future of how our world will work together, or apart. As the games commence, remember, we're not just spectators of sports, we're witnesses to history in the making. Let us know in the comments section below whether you're for it or against it, and to watch the latest geopolitical news, watch this video here.